Hello, welcome to Below the Title. I'm Robert.
And I'm Taylor, and today we're talking Bad Boys for Life. So yeah, Bad Boys 3. 17 years since they did Bad Boys 2.
Yep.
And 25 years after Bad Boys 1.
Yep.
Which I remember seeing in the movies.
Can't remember if I saw it.
I saw it in the movies, which just makes me feel old.
Yeah. But I've always liked it.
But it's always been a classic. So, and now we're at number 3.
Number 3, many years later.
Many years. We never thought we'd be here.
It's enjoyable. I
dug it.
I still have...
it was a Bad Boys film.
Yeah, the number 1 is my favourite. I've got a special place for number 1. It was a low budget film comparatively. You know, Michael Bay's first foray into feature films, moving from what he was doing commercials before and music clips and things, or was it commercials, I think. And yeah, comparatively low budget. You had Will Smith was not as big a star back then. It was all lower down. It was more fun. And yeah, so I have a special place for that. Number 2 was good. I mean, big action,
it was a bit overproduced,
but it was it had that syndrome of being overproduced. I had the big car chase,
but it had
good.
some bits and
so I think I liked Bad Boys for Life better than 2.
Yeah, I did.
It's in the middle. So you got the first one, Bad Boys for Life, and then
they did it well. So what's this one all about? Like, how do you do a number 3?
This one centers around the wife of a Mexican crime boss who's dead. He's been killed. She's in prison at the start. She gets broken out of prison. She wants to recover a stash of money that her husband had up in Miami. And she also wants to seek revenge and kill all the people involved in the police operation that killed her husband. And that involves our team from the last couple of
it's the Bad Boys
films.
The Bad Boys. Well, it's Will Smith. It's Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry.
Here we go again.
So after this long, they managed to get 4 people back from the earlier ones. You got Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, of course, but you get Joe Pantoliano as the captain. And is it Teresa Randall? So she turns up, and Michael Bay gets a quick little cameo. There was a little nut, which I thought, that's cool. Yeah, that was well done. If you're going to bring,
because he didn't direct this,
no,
but it's obviously his style, kept in with the stars, not as shaky cam as
but it was
films,
a pretty good.
But it kept the styling.
It was very much a facsimile of a Michael Bay film, in which it had the style, it had the shots.
Yeah, and I mean that brings us to they've got all the throwbacks to the original films. You got the rising shot moving around them, getting out of the car, and the shot over Miami of the water.
Yeah, coming down along the water, and then it's not set in Miami if you don't have that shot.
No, you got to have that. I think that's part of the filming regulations.
When you sign up to film in Miami, they're like,
you have to have this skyline shot.
It's going to be about the blue sky and the water. Oh, they brought back 5 people.
Yeah, Reggie's in it.
I like that. That was a nice touch.
That was another joke along the lines of
because the best scene in 2 is the scene where he comes to the door.
Yeah,
and they intimidate him.
Yeah, and they introduced a new sort of team to work with.
Yes, as you do when your leads are in there. Well, they're pushing 50, so you need some young blood. They got to hand it off, so you get a younger crew.
So it's a team. I can't remember what it's. Ammo is the name of it. What was it for? I can't remember what it stood for.
Oh, I didn't care.
I had it written down somewhere. What was it?
He has notes.
Ammo.
I don't have any notes. I just run off the top of my head.
So the team is Advanced Miami Metro Operations. Shortened down to Ammo. And it's a team of 4.
What's she gonna do when we come in?
Hey, no.
But they're kind of this high-tech sort of...
Yeah, they're the high-tech younger people. At least they didn't have it like the Expendables where they got busted and the old guys had to go save them.
Yeah.
Because that would have just been shit. Whereas they're actually good, though. Some of the characters there were good fun.
Well, you had the muscle-bound guy who you think is going to be this beefy guy, but he's really sensitive.
He's really sensitive.
Very polite.
Sits on his gym ball.
Oh, excuse me.
It's all about stress therapy. He was actually a surprise. I genuinely enjoyed his character. I didn't expect to because I thought...
Well, they've got to pass on...
They've got to do it in every one of them.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, the team actually reminded me of what they've done in the last couple of Fast and Furious films. It's that when they brought in, the sort of the high tech little war room sort of thing where they discuss things and get all their gear ready. And that's in the last couple of Fast and Furiouses. It reminded me of that, and I got the impression that this film could be kind of handing off to a larger cinematic universe. Sort of how long before The Rock shows up?
Well,
He'll show up at some point.
He'll show up at
He'll
some
have to.
point.
He shows up in everything else.
In a white t-shirt and khaki pants.
Yeah.
And then he'll give the eyebrow to Will Smith.
Yeah. Call all the
And then
all the
there'll
women,
be an oh hell no, and that will be the hook for Bad Boys 5. They're saying,
And-
even though this one was marketed as the last one, it's not.
One last time. One last time.
We're getting a 4.
Is Martin Lawrence back?
Oh, of course he will be.
Will Smith?
Out of the two of them, which one do you think wants the check more?
Well, Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence will always be back.
But I found him actually a highlight of it.
Get me the fuck out of this car.
He was great in it. Like, it
Because-
was really good because his character had grown up more. Like
He
had
played
moved
the
on.
his older, fatter,
older, fatter, wider version of himself.
bad eyesight.
Yeah, the jokes with the glasses and all that.
But I liked how every time the film was getting a bit silly, he would come in and make some joke about the situation to make light of it and to almost reference the film itself. And I found that it was a relief quite often. It was just like, oh, this is getting a bit silly, and then he would save the day with some sort of joke or a quip or something. And it was entertaining because of him. I felt. I think it would have been lacking something if he wasn't in it, or if he wasn't doing that.
These movies are a 1-2 punch. You don't have one without the other.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my wife's car. Cover the front door. She knows. She always knows.
So spoilers.
Okay, so spoilers. So now we can talk spoilers because we've been yabbering on a little bit aimlessly. We're doing a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and we're meandering to the point. So this thing's got a few twists in it.
Yeah, a couple.
A couple. I got to be honest. The secret son, when it's proven that our bad guy is actually Mike Larry's illegitimate son.
So all of that, the timeline of that was a bit confusing.
It was a bit confusing and.
Because they make reference, like Marcus talks about, was it at like the wedding
first
or somewhere?
one.
They're talking about how our history goes back 25 years, which is to 2020
first
back to
Bad Boys.
1995. But they already knew each other back then. They had a
They'd
history
come up
even
through the
back
academy
then.
and that together, and all of a sudden,
This seems
Will
to
Smith
throw that out.
had there was a bit I did before I met you, and I fell in love.
It was
a beautiful
but
woman.
I'm pretty sure
And
he
then-
said 24 years ago.
It was like the
before
year
I met
before
you.
that I met you, even
And
though
it was
that was the first.
that didn't
one.
make sense.
It
And then
doesn't
all of a
make
sudden he had this relationship with Isabel. No, well, he was undercover, and then they fell in love, and he was going to go with her, and then he had allegiance to the police force, and then he. But see, that didn't even make sense with his character. Like he seems like a good cop, righteous cop, and then he was going to do that.
I think it
And
was an attempt to bring in someone young.
It was very. It didn't really make a lot of sense. It was
It's
a bit messy.
still not. I mean, well, they've tied him into the plot, and then they have a little tag during the credits. Because
Yeah.
he goes to jail to amend for his
Yeah, he
crimes.
turns very quickly.
He does a Kylo Ren.
The son.
And goes, Daddy, and turns good.
Yeah, and then he's in prison.
and he's
then
in prison, and then
Will Smith comes along and says, "Oh, do you want to earn redemption? I may have a chance." Which that reminded me very much
that
of
was
Fast and
very
Furious.
Fast and Furious.
So that's why I think it's going to be a Fast and Furious type franchise,
I could see it happening.
and handing it off to the younger. So they have one film to do the handover.
Well, this
bring
is
in
the
some
start.
fresh
They'll
blood.
do Bad Boys 4. Or they
Yeah.
are doing Bad Boys 4. Which
Hobbs and
they
Shaw will show
kind
up.
of messed up. They said, "Oh, let's call this one Bad Boys for Life,"
Yeah,
and make it the last one. And then they've gone, "Fuck it,
Yeah.
we've made lots of money. Let's make another one. We'll have Bad Boys for Life, then Bad Boys 4."
yeah. Well, I can't imagine that. Oh, it doesn't surprise me that there's not much planning and thought into any of this. That's
No.
how films are made in general.
That's it. Let's just
And the other
yes, that
sort of spoiler.
Yes.
twist
Oh,
thing.
this movie does play the age-old third-part rule to most franchises, which in the third movie you kill off somebody who's been in it since day one in an attempt to look, oh, the stakes are real. And in this movie, unfortunately, it's poor old Captain.
Fuck me! Fuck!
This scene actually came out of nowhere. Like, it was like, bang,
Yeah.
and it gave the Captain a nice thing, but it's like, you guys.
Because he's
It's the
heading
age
for
old.
retirement.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm too old for this shit.
I'm 1 week away from retirement and bang.
You can't go past it. Part 3, you've always got to go. We can't just kill Joe Public. We've got to do someone
Yeah.
that pays attention.
Well, it's their attempt to try and pull at the heartstrings and make you emotionally involved, not realizing that it's pretty empty films.
I don't go to Bad Boys to get an emotional reaction.
Yeah.
I go to laugh at normally boyish humour. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Coming back to it just being a silly, loud action film, you just go with it. Like,
And didn't we just have a Will Smith movie where he fought a younger version of himself?
yeah, I didn't see that.
No one did. Which is a shame because it cost a fortune. Shit.
I would actually be interested to see it because of I could sit there looking at the de-aging going, I'm sure I'll be going, that's weird. Something not right here.
Something isn't quite right there.
Come on, man.
It was a Bad Boys film. And they will remind you every time they use the Bad Boys thing as a theme. They used the music. Like, it actually helped Mark Mancini's score.
Oh, yeah, that was actually good.
That was
and,
a nice
and they didn't
touch.
mess with it too much. Like,
No,
it was
every
the
now and then
actual-
they had the old Bad Boys, and I thought,
Which
yeah,
was
it's a nice touch.
I
'Cause it
always
makes
used
it-
to really like that score.
Yeah, like, it was Bad Boys.
Yeah.
And a note to Terminator people, use the fucking music. And
Yeah.
although they're starting to do like they did it in the marketing with the Bad Boys,
Oh,
and they
the
use it as a
trailer is so annoying.
punctuation
The
mark.
little chopped up,
Which it's-
those just a couple of words.
This franchise, it's Bad Boys, and in Terminator, it's dun 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 dun, and we just need a moment. But at the same time, more please, I'll go see Bad Boys 4.
Yeah. It's fun.
Nah, I'm not hanging for it. Don't get me wrong,
no.
but I can't believe there's a Bad Boys 3.
Well, I think I was more interested to see Bad Boys 3 because it's been so long. But number 4, if that happens, when's that going to happen? Like in the next?
No, they
couple
want
of
to.
years,
Let's
next
do it a bit
year?
quicker than the last
let's
one, eh?
ride the momentum of the leverage.
have it out by 2030.
Leverage momentum.
Leverage the momentum that is that is propelling
us
this franchise forward.
franchise into a cinematic universe.
This is the cinematic because we need 3 or 4 of them to keep the studio afloat.
So rating?
Rating. I don't have a water bottle rating.
No.
I had a frozen Coke.
How much did that cost? Was it extra for the freezing?
Kidney. I walked up and said, "Please don't take my house. Can I have some cold popcorn and this frozen sugar?"
$13. But as a rating,
Oh, that's right. Back to the rating.
I would give it
Okay.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a 7. It's totally a 7. It passes the time well. It doesn't outstay its welcome.
How long is it?
I
I'm sure
don't-
it's longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, probably longer than it needs to be, but
I think it's...
you'll
it's
enjoy
not...
it.
Once I get up to 8 and 8.5, that's like a really good film, like a genuinely high-quality film. 6.5 is... 6 and 6.5 is sort of the minimum. where it's
Questionable.
probably could be good, but
Has moments of
and
shite.
below 6 is where it's getting genuinely crap. So I give it a 7.
Do you give it a 7? I'd give it a 7.
7. 7's all round.
7. Lucky number 7. Until we get to Bad Boy 7. I hope we never do.
Is that like Police Academy 7?
Oh,
Michael Winslow.
I have never made it all the way through that film. There's a police series that never knew when to quit. Bad Boys, please, please, do not become Police Academy.
Who the fuck wants to sing that song?
I do not want to have the day when fucking Martin Lawrence becomes the Steve Guttenberg because he doesn't come back after part 4.
No.
I don't want that. No one wants that.
No.
Although it does kind of fit.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
First one's a classic. Second one's got its moments.
Third one actually I
Third
used to
one
quite
has a
like,
few
yeah.
bits, but after this it's downhill from there. So
We'll
Bad
see.
Boys,
We'll see.
please don't become Police Academy.
No.